joined by Oliver Sloup of Blue Line Futures. He is in Chicago. And Oliver, it is off to the races in the grain market here this morning. When we came out of the opening bell, I mean, everything had double-digit gains here, no matter what you were looking at, unless it was oats, and they were on the downside, but that's a whole different story. No export sales this morning, but you and I were talking during the break, and they had some pretty significant wins, I guess, on Friday when we were gone.
Yeah, markets were closed on Friday, but that didn't stop some business getting done. A big export flash sale in the soybean market to China and unknown destinations, and you're seeing some of that kind of get priced into the market here this morning with a big bid underneath a lot of these grain markets, not just the soybeans, but corn and wheat as well. And if you look at corn, that's where a lot of the momentum has been. Basically an uninterrupted rally since that last quarterly stocks report and that new crop contract. We've tacked on about $1 and really haven't had any meaningful pullbacks. Now, when you look at a market like this that's gone basically straight up, you start to wonder, well, is this market overbought yet? And an indicator for that is the RSI, or Relative Strength Index. The line in the sand for being in overbought territory is 70 right now. That front month May contract, the RSI, is only at 68. And we've seen that as high as 75 here over the last couple months before getting a pullback. So though it looks like it's overextended on the chart, we're not to those overbought levels that we saw just a month ago in this May contract.
So the new crop December contract for this year looks pretty strong, but what about the December of 23 corn? Have you had a lot of folks inquiring about that? Because that chart looks almost equally as good.
I've never seen anything like it, to be honest with you. Usually you go that far out in time, you start to see a lot of those contracts be more or less a stick in the mud and not going anywhere. But I believe we're on day 22, maybe 23, somewhere in the 20s. So that's 5 consecutive weeks of gains, basically, without a pullback. So someone going out that far is somebody that wants corns. That's not small retail traders typically, and it's not funds because there's not a whole lot of liquidity. So it's someone that needs the corn that's concerned about higher prices further down the timeline, locking things in.
So when you look at the, the nearby May, we're going to be in delivery here at the end of the month, but look at that chart on the May, and that's making new contracts as we go as well. I mean, how long do you ride this horse? I mean, should you be sweeping out the bins if you have last year's corn left over?
Boy, I certainly feel like it, and I always remind a lot of our clients here that are on the hedge side of things that you're not trying to pick tops and bottoms. You're trying to get the meat off the bone and stay in business the next year. And at these prices, it's important to at least establish a floor one way or another in the market. And you can still keep your upside open. There's plenty of ways to go about doing that. So you had mentioned the May contract and delivery at the end of the month. We've got options expiration this Friday, and a lot of times going into options expiration, you can see those big round numbers become a bit of a magnet. It would be interesting to see if we can't get that May contract pinned at $8 into that expiration.
So July corn right now is 16.25 higher, right at $8 even, and December is up 10.25. On the soybean trade, big gains to report here today. On that July contract, we're now 24.25 higher at 16.89.5, and new crop November is now up 17.75 cents. And let's check on the wheat. It had some big moves today. In Chicago, you have July now gaining 25.25. We're at 11.2975 right now. On the Kansas City market, we go to July, and it is now trading 28 cents higher at 11.8525. And don't want to leave out the Minneapolis spring wheat trade this morning. We have the July gaining 30 cents. Right now, we're at 11.7675 as we speak.